Hi girls, welcome back. If you're new here, then welcome. My name is Karyna. I have successfully breastfed my daughter. She is 11 months old now and we're still going strong. My mission is to help you girls be confident mamas. That's why I share my experience and knowledge in a new video every single Thursday. So if you're interested in motherhood, pregnancy, birth and breastfeeding topics, consider subscribing and let's get into today's video. If you're watching this, most probably you want to increase your milk supply, or you might already have a good supply and want to maintain it. Either way, my tips will work for you. A little note, I won't talk about boosting your supply with certain foods, simply because there is no proof of any lactation cookies working. Any lactation specialist will tell you that. Instead, I will share things that really work. The first and the most important thing, which might sound rough, put aside all the pacifiers and bottles if you're using them. It's absolutely necessary if you're having a low supply or if your baby going through a growth spurt. Your breast needs as much stimulation as possible right now because breastfeeding is a supply and demand system. Just let your baby cluster feed or comfort nurse, whatever you want to call it, as much as he or she wants to. Using a pacifier or a bottle with breastfed babies is always risky for two reasons. One, it can lead to a nipple confusion, there is always a 50% chance of that. And two, it can drop your supply. So even if you're here just to be able to maintain your supply, keep that in mind. Don't use a pacifier unless it's absolutely necessary, for instance, in the car on a freeway. The next tip is flowing out of the first one. Breastfeed on demand. It might sound obvious for some of you, but not every mom knows what breastfeeding on demand really is. I'll be honest with you, I was not good at it at first. During the first few months when baby is glued to you, it's really tiring and sometimes you just want to take a long shower, do something for yourself while somebody else is with your baby. And then you come back to nurse only when your baby won't stop crying. I get it. However, breastfeeding when your baby is already crying is not breastfeeding on demand. You always need to look out for signs that baby gives you. For instance, when baby is stretching, it means she wants to nurse. When baby opens her mouth and moves her tongue, it means she wants to nurse. When sucking her lips, sucking her hand, doing some other sucking motions, all of those are baby's cues for nursing. As you probably know, a need to nurse does not always mean hunger. It can be a need to communicate with the mom, a need to feel safe, to relax, to calm down. Nursing has so many functions, and I know that it's almost impossible to respond to your baby's every cues, but we need to try our best because if we do, there won't be a problem with supply. Next, have skin-to-skin sessions. Get comfortable in a bed or couch, take off your shirt, take off your bra, undress your baby, leave just the diaper on, and cuddle. Smell your baby, kiss your baby, let her cluster feed, let her sleep on you, feed in the laid-back biological position. All of these things will help your supply because the right hormones will get released, the milk will get produced and will be delivered to your baby. If you are having a really low supply, you need to try to forget about everything for a few days, as much as it's possible, and get comfortable in the bed and nest with your baby. This will help. Try to stay calm and positive because being overwhelmed and stressed might impact your letdown and your baby won't get any milk. It's just hormones, very simple and logical. When you're stressed, the hormones of stress get released like cortisol and adrenaline, and they block the hormone oxytocin, which is hormone of love and attachment, and it's the hormone that is in charge of your letdown. Also consider co-sleeping. Statistics shows that mothers who bed share tend to breastfeed longer and maintain exclusive breastfeeding longer than those who don't co-sleep. Why is that? It's simply because you have your baby close to you the whole night and this helps your supply. And I know this is a sensitive topic, but I just want to say that there are different types of co-sleeping and there are some safe types. You just need to follow the safety rules. And I have a whole separate video about our experience, how and why we ended up bed sharing. I will have it linked up here and in the description below. Check it out after this video is done. Another thing you can do is to have an early morning feed, specifically somewhere from 3 in the morning to 5 in the morning, because this is the time when the hormone prolactin is the most active. And if you do feed during this time, you will be able to have a good supply. I currently don't worry about this timing because my 11 months old wants to nurse every hour, starting from 4 in the morning till 8 in the morning, every single day pretty much. So when she was little though, and she was able to have 5, 6, even 7 hour sleep stretches, I had to make sure she's awake for the early morning feed. Sometimes I would even put my alarm and wake her up because this is that important. You can also drink hot fluids to boost your supply. There are a lot of lactation teas out there and some moms say that they really help, but in reality, any hot liquid will boost your supply. That's why during those first few days after birth, when your milk comes in, you want to avoid drinking hot fluids to avoid engorgement. Just simple logic. If your baby is about 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months, or 6 months old, and you having a drop in your supply, it's definitely associated with the growth spurt your baby is going through. So if that's the case and you want some encouragement, I have a separate video about how to survive a growth spurt. Go watch it after this one is done. I will have it linked up here and in the description. The tips I share there are very similar, but I talk specifically about the growth spurt and my own experience. I followed all those tips that I shared with you today, and I haven't had a problem with my supply. Even some growth spurts went unnoticed. Also, previously I made a few other videos on breastfeeding topic. I will have that playlist linked in the description below for you. And if you have any other questions about motherhood or breastfeeding, leave them for me in the comments. I would love to answer them for you. And I hope this video was helpful. If so, give it thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for a fresh video every single Thursday. And I want to wish you to have a happy breastfeeding experience. And I'll see you next week. Bye.